it going, guys? This is Mouseball, and this is the AttackMouse Nation, and we're going to give you a little bit of footage of Mike Z06's Corvette Z06. Now, we're going to try to get next to him for a little bit and see if he will let us film him without him blowing off like him. See, I knew he was gonna do that. See, he was like, "What's wrong?" What a beautiful car! I mean, his car is gorgeous. I believe it's Velocity Yellow. It's a Z06 coupe, 385 horsepower. 385 pounds of torque, massive tires, brake ducts in the rear quarters for cooling. I mean, just an amazing machine, and it looks absolutely stunning. And believe it or not, guys, my Corvette's coming back. So what I'm going to do is, when my Corvette is finally running and I've got it assembled and I've finally got a passenger seat in it, I'm going to grab Oleksiis. We're going to go for a ride around the Mouseball loop in my Corvette. Obviously, I'm going to have new tires on it, and I'm going to check everything and make sure that the car is in fantastic shape. You know, before I grab Oleksiis, you know, from the cradle that he's in right now, this amazing Fiat 500, and put him in a car with 3 times or 4 times more power. So, you know, Oleksiis will actually see what it's like to have 2 harnesses over his shoulders and 2 harnesses buckled onto his crotch area, where he's held in like there's no tomorrow, and seats that are so aggressive that he can't move. He's gonna be stuck right in the center. So, and plus he'll see this low, long hood. It's gonna be a totally different experience for him as far as that. But like I said, nothing beats the fun of this car. I mean, we're not even really going that fast. We're just doing the speed limit, and I'm having an absolute blast. So, figured we'd give you guys a little bit of a point of view of Mike Z06's Corvette Z06, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on this ride in the Fiat 500 before I get on the second leg and go with Mike in his Corvette. So guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay wealthy, and remember, if you have yellow fever, you're probably behind Mike's Corvette. Take it easy, guys. Mouseball out. Hey Mike, we have to time this exact because this car only has so much power, and we got to pass 2 cars, not 1.
The thing is, some cars don't have lights on, and it's hard to see how much distance you got to. Because they can get pretty close fast. I don't want to swing.
Yeah, no, you be sitting. Yeah, I saw that. A black Mach-E, that's crazy. Wow, that's crazy, man. You know, I kind of wish we did rent the Tesla in a way, because of how much fun it would be to drive that all the way up here, but I mean, time wasn't just on our side, unfortunately.
Not really the cost of it. I mean, like I said, it'd be around $350, I think, to rent it and do it and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, plus whatever additional mileage it would stack on top of us, because we're driving X amount of miles.
We'll have to charge it in Tampa at supercharger. Find the
Yeah, we basically be paying like a car payment for it just for a day of it.
Yeah, no, this is much more economical, and everybody else, you know, everybody ends up happy at the end of the day, you know. So as far as I'm concerned, this was the best way to do it. Plus, we end up driving 3 cars home, not, you know, 2. My new pop's gonna have little hard turn signal. Turn signal markers.
Yes. I wonder how does it look when it's on.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, holy crap, I just realized I'm gonna have little heart turn signal. I'm gonna have a lot of like confidence, like a lot to keep my macho man.
Please let me merge into your lane.
I give you a kiss. How's it going, guys? This is Mouseball, and this is the AttackMouse Nation and my salty gearheads. Welcome to Motoring with Mouseball, and we're halfway up to Tampa. We're gonna switch cars at Acadia, so I'm gonna be riding with Mike Z06 once we reach Acadia, and we're gonna stop, check our fuel, check everything, make sure that we're good to go, and then the last half of the trip I'll be doing in the Corvette Z06. Now, a lot of things have happened ever since we left Wawa, including this blue PT Cruiser that looks like it's falling apart, almost crashing into Oleksiis. Now, obviously, Oleksiis and now Oleksiis is getting ready to pass. And can we make it? Can we make it? Can we make it? Can we? And yes, we can. Wow, that's awesome. That was awesome. And trust me, that was really hair-raising because Oleksiis had a car. Dude, you have no idea how awesome this little car is. I mean, we literally had that truck heading at us and it was getting closer and closer and closer, and I was like, holy crap, are we gonna make it?
Well, we're gonna have to do it again when there's enough gap for both of us to get around this escape, because I'd like to escape from behind the escape.
And you heard it first from Mike Z06. He wants to escape from the escape. That's great.
Did you see that baby blue Maserati Quattroporte?
Yeah, no, I saw that. That's one of the best parts about going on a rally is, you know, being able to see all the other kinds of cars that are out here. There's some really weird ones. look at the sign.
Trump sign.
There's a Trump Benz sign on the side of the road still. Oh, looks like we're not gonna have to pass. Oh, look at Mike. Holy crap, dude. Mike just lightly got on the brakes. Like, I think I'll slow down just a little bit.
Obviously, Jasmine is a lot louder, but
Hey, you know what? Your exhaust is made of titanium, so it's like, what's it called? I know Jasmine might be a little louder, but Jasmine doesn't have as exotic of an exhaust as your car does, so I think I'll take the exotic exhaust every day.
the only reason why I haven't gotten another Corsa Extreme.
Yeah, I honestly would not get rid of the exhaust. I mean, if you think that the Lotus Elise is jumping up in price, wait till people start noticing what this car can do, and the Corvette C5 starts, you know, just exploding or taking off like a rocket in price. You'll be like thinking you're lucky stars you kept it.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what these things actually could do back in the day. I mean, this was like Ferrari 360 performance for nothing.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's actually faster than a Ferrari 360.
We want to talk about the torque in the 360.
Yeah, not much there. I think, what, 275 foot-pounds of torque, 400 horsepower?
Yeah, something like that. A little bit more power, quite a bit less torque. Roughly around, you get the Ferrari
exactly. It's Ferrari. It doesn't matter. But anyway, guys, I want to give you my thoughts on how this car rides, how it drives, and what to expect if you were in the market for a car like this. Well, I mean, first off, you want to know someone like this, obviously. You know, if you want to make your first Fiat Pop purchase, because you want to have somebody that actually knows the car and who has driven high mileage versions of this car. And I have to give you guys the unfortunate news: to find a Pop or a Lounge or pretty much any base model trim or sport in yeah, thank you, Oleksiis knows the cars way better than I do. So you got the Easy, the Pop Sport, and obviously anything over 2015 and up is actually a Pop Sport. So that means it's a Pop with the Sport Appearance package. Now, to kind of explain to you guys about this car, with these cars, when they're on the market, they're going to be extremely expensive and they're going to have a lot of mileage. And the thing is that the one thing that a lot of people, and we're going through a corner, so this is going to be a lot of fun. And that awesome noise you're hearing back there is an exhaust that Oleksiis put on this car. And I just love the sound. And we have the AC on, we have the windows up, and this is why, I mean, this car can be driven with so much momentum through the corners that you can practically floor it and get the most out of the engine, the most out of the car, and not worry about crashing into something, and actually drive a car fast.
Or breaking it. That car lowest higher RPM, I'm telling you.
Yeah, so see, there you go. And this is exactly why, you know, you want someone like Oleksiis or someone you know in the community that knows these cars before you actually buy them. Because, again, the car that we're going to go pick up is a high mileage car. And it's going to be rough around the edges. I'm expecting it to not be perfect. Obviously, it has a bad AC condenser. It has a crack in the windshield, which is normal. That's usually what happens with Fiats, unfortunately. When they get very old, if there's a rock chip, then they're going to end up having a small crack. It can be fixed. Anything can be fixed. You know what? I can deal with some problems with the car as long as they're cosmetic. What really matters to me when it comes down to buying a car is it mechanically sound? Is the transmission sound? You know, are all the things that this car has, excuse me, good to make a long trip back and forth? And Oleksiis' car just has just under 100,000 miles. So, in my opinion, this car is handled extremely well. It's got an amazing noise. It loves to be revved and grabbed by the scruff of the neck. And as you can see, it's got a nice spacious cabin. I mean, in the back, if the seats were to fold back or fold down, you could practically sleep back there if you wanted to. So, I mean, owning an Abarth is pretty much like having this car, but with more power. And it's a little bit more aggressive. But when it comes down to actually needing something to drive back and forth and not have to worry about popping your hood like I do every morning. Like I have to pop my hood every morning because, you know, I got a turbocharger, and the thing is that when you have a turbo, it produces a lot of heat, and that heat can beat up, you know, plastic and rubber and anything else that's inside the engine compartment. So more often than not, you want to use your Abarth, you know, for track days, for rallies, for car shows. You know what? You want to use it for special, you know, occasion. You don't want to just up and use it for a daily drive, even though you could. But you know, your grandma can go on a stripper pole. Doesn't mean that she should. I mean, come on. So with this car, I'm almost positive, with Oleksiis' help, I can get 150 horsepower, and I'd say about 120 foot-pounds of torque. And then not to mention that, I can get it to be as fast, if not, you know, quicker than at least a Fiat 500 Turbo.
For sure.
For sure.
Plus 31 horsepower, it's for sure 100%.
So if I can get 150 horsepower out of regular pop. And trust me, there's many ways to do it. I don't have to just get 150 crankshaft horsepower. I can do weight reduction. I can do the headers. I can do a really exotic intake. I can do meth injection. I can do a whole bunch. I can port and polish the heads, which I intend to do eventually. I'll end up porting and polishing the heads, excuse me. I'll end up doing a whole bunch of stuff to that engine. But one thing that me and Oleksiis will never touch is the Multiair. We'll leave that alone. We're not going to touch Multiair because Multiair is too finicky for anybody to mess with, to be brutally honest with you. So, what do I think about this car? I absolutely love it. And if Oleksiis was selling his, you know, I would definitely give him $13,000 for this car. This car is absolutely stunning. But since I'm just looking for a regular daily driver, and it's something that yeah, it sure was. I mean, talk about a off-camber, you know, bump in the road. Christ almighty. Yeah, and you consider that your car's very low to the ground, has a low center of gravity, and this thing has got a real tall center of gravity, so, you know, it's...
I got camber plates in the back too.
Yeah, and he has camber plates on the back of the car, so we definitely really felt that.
Not as much, but yes.
But as I was saying, guys, you know...
Yeah, speaking of center of gravity, I saw a review of the new 500 in Europe, the electric only version. And I gotta say, I'm not an EV fanboy, despite who I work for. I would be tempted to pick one up. That is an impressive little car.
Well, not only is it impressive, but the way they did the interior looks absolutely amazing.
The dash design.
The dash design is just like so streamlined and so well done, and they've actually brought in graphics into the dashboards now. So, you know, you actually have the 2-spoke steering wheel, which looks very appropriate for that car. You got the graphics, you got the nice little cubby holes, you got the phone charger. I mean, it's really nicely done.
Mini Tesla.
Very much so. And even on the mechanical piece, I mean, okay, it's a little bit bigger, but I mean, okay, at least you have all the batteries in the floor, so it should help with the center of gravity. But yeah, it just looks so good. I just wish there'd still be an A-bar for it. I wish you just sell in the US. Whatever.
Well, who knows? You know how Fiat is. Fiat, you know, they're like so wishy-washy with, you know, their presence in the United States that it could take another 30 years or another 5 years before they're back. I mean, America's always been a finicky market for, you know, European cars, especially small hatches and wagons. So.
It's so funny because in California you see tons of wagons. BMWs, Benzes, Audis, all that stuff.
Yeah, no, California is an alien world. I mean, again, California is like bad in the way it's run, but amazing just to be there. I mean, obviously you being there yourself, you know, you can testament to, you know, just exactly how amazing it is and why people would actually, you know, struggle to stay there. So.
Yeah, the scenery is beautiful. The car culture is cool. The weather is gorgeous. The roads are amazing. But yeah, unfortunately, you have the government and the taxes.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you can't escape either of those. But yeah, as I was saying, you know, this car is definitely worth its weight in gold.
This is better. Actually, the old Fiat was a little bit more fun.
Yeah, no, exactly. I totally agree with that. But as I was saying, when it comes down to this car right here, I'm so happy I'm buying one. I'm so happy I have Oleksiis with me. You know, Mama Mouse and I wanted to make sure that we took very good care of him. You know, we gave him a little bit of money for his time and his trouble. Made sure to pay for his food and gas. So that way, you know, he wouldn't be too inconvenienced. Because, you know, trust me when I tell you, this man drove all the way from Miami, all the way to the shop, and then drove all the way to Jupiter, and then is driving all the way to Tampa, and then he has to drive all the way back. And that to me that deserves compensation. And you know, you always be good to your friends. You always take care of the people that take care of you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but also the main point of the whole drive is we all together driving. You know, it's all about the experience and well spent time, you know, throughout the road to get the, you know, the final destination, which is to get a new part of the family.
Exactly. And see, Oleksiis, like he's explained to you right there, he would have done all of this for free. He would have endured the trip, you know, the boring drive, you know, obviously his car getting covered in bugs, which, don't worry, Oleksiis, I got you on that. I'll take care of it.
I can watch that home too.
But, yeah, you know, I mean, in a way, it sucks that, you know, the drive is long. Excuse me, I'm just trying to catch my words. And in some points, because we are in the United States, every road is long and straight. So unfortunately, the Fiat 500 does not, you know, shine as bright on straight roads. But if I got you around the Mouseball loop, you think this is the best car in the world. And that's the whole point, is that he's exactly right. You know, being together, taking the drive, and you know what, when we get to the destination, it'll be euphoric, there's no doubt about it. But what's really gonna suck is when it ends, when we actually get home and when it's all over. But it doesn't matter, because we'll have more memories to make with the new addition to the family, and it'll allow Mouseball to get some rest and not have to have so many miles put on Mouseball, because, you know, I'll be able to rotate the cars. I'll be able to take the Corvette out sometimes. I'll be able to take, you know, the new Fiat out sometimes, and I'll be able to take Mouseball out sometimes. So it'll be a different look almost every time, you know, for the family, and everybody will get to enjoy and have fun. And the best part is that the car we're getting is very inexpensive, and this is probably the best deal we're gonna get on a Fiat 500 at this time. Like, no joke. I mean,
yeah,
120,000, 130,000 mile examples are still going for almost $6,000.
And
so,
they, trust me, they all beat up.
And they're very beat up. Well, even though Kay has driven this car very hard, and she has definitely beat the brakes off of it, you know, I trust her to have taken care of it better than, say, anybody who has one of them at a...
Hey, look, there's a hill in Florida. That's a rare sight.
Yeah, and it's a great sight for us, isn't it? Because if it's a hill, that means it's got a curve in it. But yeah, guys, I can't get over it. I'm extremely happy with this car. I mean, if it was my car, I would be absolutely blessed to have it. And I'm so glad that Oleksiis, because at one point in time, remember Oleksiis, when we were talking at the, you know, I think it was after Give Back at the Track, and we went to the restaurant, and you picked the fan.
San Francisco, that was very uneventful. Oh, awesome.
Ugh, that's gross. But if you remember correctly, it was after Give Back at the Track, we went to the restaurant. You picked the place where the fan was because it was super hot, and you were telling me about how you might get rid of your silver Fiat 500. Remember your or actually it was a Grigio one.
Yeah,
it was great. And you were telling me how, you know, you were probably gonna move on, probably get a Camry and everything, and luckily you stayed with this car, because believe it or not, his silver one, you know, he was trying to make it more powerful, which he did. He actually put in these Multiair brakes from Torque, and they did work. They did work for 2 runs.
For one run, because I parked the car for one day. The next day I go to work and I stopped at red light, noticed this one jerk off the car, and it was like one little misfire, and I was like, that's weird, but then it didn't happen. I went to work, and then middle of the work I leave the car on idling. I come back to the car and it died. I was like, what happened? And then it started misfiring on the idle, keeps dying, you know. I had to give it more revs, and it got worse and worse. So I was trying to figure out what is going on. I think it was something, either it was the timing on or the head got damaged, or you know, got off, because someone decided to use stock head bolts, and I don't know, God knows what kind of torque he put. I'm not sure, but you know, it wasn't done professionally.
Yeah, so unfortunately that engine blew up and it's gone, and you know, we were kind of afraid of, you know, what the future was going to be for Oleksiis and this kind of car, because when, you know, something breaks, you're like, man, should I even stick with these cars anymore? You kind of get, you know, the feeling that, you know, these cars are cursed, but in actuality they're not. They're actually great running cars. And then he ended up getting this Rosso red one, and I mean, this car runs amazingly. Now obviously, you know, lesson learned. You know, we know not to mess with the Multiair unless, you know what you're doing. And the thing is that the car really doesn't need to have the Multiair mess with. I mean, there's so many other ways to get performance out of this car. So as far as I'm concerned, like I said, everything that's going on today, I'm just ecstatic with. I cannot wait to reach the destination. I cannot wait to see the car. I can't wait for Oleksiis and Mike to, you know, look it over, give me their opinion on how it drives and everything. And from the video we saw that she sent us of, you know, the 500 driving, her 500 Fred, I'm pretty sure the car is plenty fine. So the thing is, I'm pretty sure we're going to end up taking this car home. We're going to have a nice ride, and I'm going to be bringing you more videos of the inside of Fred, the outside of Fred, and the drive home. And we're just going to have a blast of it, and maybe we'll even hit some place to have dinner before we call it a night. But anyway, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay wealthy, and remember, you don't have to be in a boxing ring to know someone from the Ukraine. Take it easy, guys. Mouseball out.